So there was one secret thing that I kind of learned that kind of helped me revolutionize my art career and even my just personal day-to-day life. This is week 60 of the Draw or Die newsletter for visual storytellers of all kinds. And today I'm going to talk about one of life's strangest secrets, and that is that like attracts like. And we're going to bounce into that right now. You seemingly attract in your life what you think about the most, bad or good. Humans are kind of like magnets in that way. And unfortunately, 90% of the people out there are kind of mired into dwelling on the negative crap out there. It's no fault of their own, really, because you're surrounded by it constantly, right? You probably have friends and family that you're surrounded by, also knee deep in that world and not even thinking like we're thinking right now. It kind of echoes and resonates all around your social network. This isn't just an opinion of mine or something that's kind of frou-frou-y. This is actually extensively studied and proven by the super smart people places like MIT and Stanford research studies. There's some links out there that you can find that your subconscious mind is making connections based on your deep desires, the things that you're thinking about the most. It will find a way to give you more of that thing that you're thinking about the most, good or bad. It might be anything that's material or immaterial. You might just be thinking about a feeling that you're having. So the trouble is that your subconscious mind isn't really that smart, and it doesn't really understand bad versus good. It's not going to judge you. It just wants to give you what it thinks you're thinking more about. And it gives you that because it thinks that, well, you must be thinking that because this is comforting to you. It's going to find a way to keep delivering that to you, right? So, for example, that part of your subconscious simply thinks like this. The input that you're putting into it is you've been really worried about how you're going to make more money or find a new job. And your subconscious sees this as, oh, she's really worried about being poor and not having enough money, which equals she must like thinking about this topic since she thinks about this a lot. So therefore, as the subconscious computer, I will find more patterns to help her continue thinking about this topic that she must like to think about. And in that way, you stay poor. Or let's even just simplify this really easy way. This has probably happened to you. You see a kind of car that you might like or you think about and you might want. So you look at the pricing and stuff like that. And then suddenly, the next day it just seems to magically be all around you. You see that type of car beside you, you see it in the parking lot. You never really recognized it before. And you're thinking to yourself, wow, that's crazy. I was just talking about this. And it also might feel a lot like that on social media networks. You might think like, are they listening to me? Which they probably are. I saw this happen live on Facebook just the other day. So I kind of limit my use on Facebook, but I logged in around 8 p.m. And the first thing that was sent to me was a post from a friend who said, I feel like nobody is having a great time right now. There's literally nobody else's life I'd like to have, and nobody should desire mine at the moment. Big yikes. Like, even major celebrities that I know are having the worst time. And there were 17 comments, and a lot of the comments were from people that I know, which is why this was served to me. And the comments were like spot freaking on, and, yep, I totally feel this. And it's just one star shit parade all over right after another. And I literally wrote this in my journal tonight. No one is having fun about 15 minutes before reading this post. I've been thinking this, so thank you for saying it out loud. It's very hard for so many right now. Yeah, shit sucks right now. It's just like a never ending stream. And if you had been like having a good day and then you see a post like this, then you might drop out of your good mood and go like, you know what? Things aren't great right now. And you start dwelling on the things that you're not excited about. What does your subconscious brain do? It thinks, oh, must like to be surfing around on this BS. But you can see those echoes in the comments, and all these people are having the same feeling, the same vibe. And if you weren't feeling that way up until seeing that post, then suddenly you're pulled into it and you're thinking about all that crap. And it's that easy for your subconscious brain to kind of take over, and your own internal algorithm is working 24/7 even when you're sleeping. It's just working nonstop to attract more of what it thinks you want to be served into your feed, your internal feed. You can replace that topic with literally anything, uh, politics, drug addiction, failing relationships. It's like an ocean of invisible energy all around you. You can kind of feel it when you're around other people that are in that zone or a kind of vibe, whether it's good or bad, or you can feel it in locations that you visit too. There might not even be people there. It's just like this weird energy that you feel, right? It almost feels supernatural. Uh, you have to know what I'm talking about. I mean, it's something that you feel as a human being. So, and that vibe kind of spreads through that invisible ocean like a ripple. When it was described to me like that, when I first discovered this topic, I was just kind of blown away. Up until that point in my life, I was just kind of getting through life like we all do, work, pay bills, raise family. I was constantly under that invisible spell that seemingly makes the world go round. And now you know. And knowing is half the battle. Yo, Joe. Even if you become aware of that spell that we're all under, it's really easy to fall back under that spell and to kind of get caught in that flow again. You can be in a good mood one morning and then suddenly it changes. So, what can you do with this knowledge? Well, how can you take what you've just learned or what you maybe are enlightened to, or you're like, yeah, I know exactly what he's talking about? How can you take that knowledge and kind of change things? Realizing that your subconscious mind is just kind of dumb. You simply need to start being more mindful of the inputs that you're feeding it. You can now hack your own feed to achieve more of what you actually want. And what I mean by that is for me, I had to stop hanging out with negative people. And I had to walk away from really bad relationships in my life, whether they were personal relationships or work based relationships. Clients, I had to fire some clients, occasionally. If a conversation turns to something controversial, or I can kind of start to feel it dragging me down, I have to kind of slowly disengage from it. It's sort of an art to be able to do that. Let's just call it tactical empathy. I don't want to, judge people on how they're feeling because once we realize that they're caught in this ocean too, and sometimes it's just overwhelming. Kind of have that in mind when somebody's dealing with some stuff. Don't try to like force correct it for them or judge them based on something that they're feeling today. But yeah, I kind of just slowly back away from that conversation and be like, oh, I'm really sorry to hear that. Oh, bye. Years ago, my morning routine used to be, and it was after 9/11 actually, um, everybody was just constantly glued to the TV thinking that what's going to happen bad next, right? And there's actually a book from like 100 more than 100 years ago that talks about that invisible ocean of feeling like, and that was before the internet and stuff. They're like a terrible thing could happen around the world and the feeling resonates across the country. And I thought about that on 9/11 and everybody was just kind of glued to 24/7 news. So my routine for many years was to wake up, turn on the news, and listen to what's going on. I thought I was staying informed, scrolling through social feeds as well, kind of replaced that after the internet came along. It's not a great way to start my day. You just you just feed your subconscious mind with all that BS, and then guess what happens? Throughout your entire day, you end up seeing and hearing more of it throughout your day. It just becomes a cancer over time. It just grows and grows and grows. That sounds pretty bleak. I mean, we're all doomed, right? No. The good news is that it works the other way too. You have the power to feed it awesome things and follow amazing humans. And guess what you're going to attract more of when you do that? You're going to attract more amazing things, awesome things, and amazing feelings. You're always going to encounter that opposite magnet, that thing that when you're getting close to it, you're feeling like, ooh, what is that? I want to get away from that. So these days, how I start my day, and I've got a little block in the newsletter. Maybe I'll throw it up in this video too. My first 2-hour block of my day from usually 6 a.m. to about 8 a.m. is filled with either reading or drawing. I try to avoid the internet as much as possible. I try to avoid news. And I'm usually reading a good old fashioned, hardcover book of some kind. I have multiple books now that I'm trying to absorb nonfiction topics on, storytelling and marketing and deep work thinking and all that stuff. Um, in this way, I'm forcing it to set my tone for the day to be creative, thoughtful, and encouraged. And when I read, I don't like to use the electronic devices because I feel like they're designed to distract you. They're designed to be a trap. You're just one click away from all that BS we just talked about. So you need to kind of keep that in mind when you're holding a phone in your hand or a laptop. It's kind of like you got a bear trap right on you. So just think of your devices like that. I kind of started to do that. Put them away if you can. So a good old fashioned, hardback book is perfect for me. I also don't like to rush reading. A lot of people are trying to get through things super fast. I can read a book in 4 hours or I can listen to an audiobook. I really like to absorb a little bit more and take some notes and maybe do some sketching while I'm reading and just try and like learn things, right? And of course, another great way I have read or draw. Another great way to start your day is drawing is a great way to start your day. And maybe it's just a little personal journal with doodles in it or a daily drawing prompt like we have in the daily drawing club. And you should get in that if you're not in that. Just scribble challenges even can just start waking your brain up for the day. That's your real challenge today is to start thinking about what are you inputting into your internal feed? How can you hack your internal algorithm? Are you actually ready to draw something? Today's little drawing challenge prompt for you, if you've gotten this far, is the great magnet. And you'll see me drawing that throughout this video. But draw your version of whatever feeling came from hearing this. That's the prompt, the great magnet. Hashtag it, hashtag draw or die club on social media of your choice. Uh, find some art friends out there in the draw or die club. Stay encouraged out there. I hope that this helped feed you a little bit for the day and set you on a right path, no matter what time of day that you're listening to it on. I appreciate you for taking your time and listening. And I wish you the best, whatever it is you're doing out there. I mean it. And life is short. So don't delay. Draw every day. Back to the drawing board for me. I'll see you soon.